we are back with this What If, the continuation of What If Naruto was in a clan marriage. Shut the fuck up, I know it's been a minute. It's because I want to make this funny for me. Not just meh, but actual comedy for me to laugh at. So, I know I last left off with, Hiruzen and Hanzo going to have to meet earlier than the tuning exams due to having to hammer out some clan marriage details. You see, due to the number of teams being smaller, they'll still have the preliminary exams, but, they'll do that as a bigger tournament at the tuning exams. So, rather than, just, try to pop my hip, but it just felt like grinding on the joint, and it just, did not feel right. Anyway, continuing on. Rather than do preliminary exams that would have them, fight each other without an audience, due to this new clan marriage thing, Sarutobi couldn't attend, so they're like, okay, some shit has come up. Like, the elders are there. They're hearing what's happening, and they're also thinking, hey, I don't know what to do. Donzo's just like, accept the marriage. The boy has already done it. We will now be partners. We will now have a strong ally with the rain. Hiruzen's just like, they would call in Naruto. Naruto saying, she's really cool. He just nods. And he's just like, I like her. She's strong. And he even, puts his hand on his chin. And then he confidently says, yeah, he's definitely stronger than most Chunin here at the Leaf. And Naruto, he kind of has a smile when he says this, because he remembers, due to how affectionate she is towards him, but how cold she is towards others, something she's saying, like her, nice animal, cuddly side that would be drawn to Naruto, her, playful bunniness, rabbitness, is only for Naruto. Which she would also whisper that means, bunny outfits for Naruto. Which Naruto had perverted thoughts, and that's why he's smiling. Everyone's just thinking, so you approve of the marriage. Naruto's just like, hey, I love me some chocolate. They're looking at him like, what the fuck? Naruto, we don't know what you're talking about. Naruto would sigh as he's just like, I'm ahead of my time. Naruto would then, we would have a time skip. We will now have a slight time skip. I know I just said that, but I had to pause it real quick. Sorry. Anyway. Back to, the story. You see, we now have Naruto kind of having to deal with the whole againing in a marriage in the whole ninja clan. You see, the Leaf Village quickly spread word, and they're trying to make it where they can ship off Naruto. Of course, Hanzo is also trying to get it where Yoruichi could go to the Leaf Village, but they kinda don't want that. So there's a slight compromise with Hiruzen and Hanzo about the whole arrangement. So what happens instead is Yoruichi and Naruto would be sent off towards the land of snow, if you will. They would protect a joint mission, if you will. I know it's really strange for them, but it's the only way they can have the two away from both villages, since they need to finalize some, living arrangements, what happens with what kid and who goes to what place. You see, we would then go to a slight different scene. Naruto and Yoruichi they'd be walking and talking. Once they arrive at the land of snow, Naruto would think of doing some training. So would Yoruichi. However, the two realize, since the tuning exams are still going to be a thing, they're going to have to fight. They still have roughly 3 weeks worth of time before they would have to go back. I'm making it where it's 6 weeks of a break for the tuning exams, just so I can have, everyone training up for a bigger tournament arc. Which, yeah, I thought that'd be more fun. Anyway, back to the what if. As, you know, Naruto, he goes off into the mountain area where he feels something strange. The winds are getting more ferocious in a certain area, as if something's telling him to stay away. Of course, Naruto being Naruto would not and proceed to go through. Well, as Yoruichi would be drawn towards a river, a spring, if you will, which is kind of weird because you look around, there's no sign of any life, nothing, it's just pure ice, yet in here there's a spring. Steam is evaporating, and she could sense that there is also something down there. So she would dive on into the water, go for a swim, and pretty much see something buried within, the ground. She would have to come up for air, of course, because she can't hold her breath that long after examining, looking around. So she goes back up, takes another deep breath, and this time with chakra in her lungs, forces herself all the way down, where she would seemingly grab this special white, sword guard, like the hilt of a sword. It seemed to be embedded. It's scabbard in everything within this weird, seemingly shark skull. Huh. Anyway, she would begin to pull, and, well, as she begins to, this weird yellow energy would start to emanate and radiate off of the sword. The shark fossil, where the sword would be embedded in its head, seemingly starts to come back to life, reforming with muscle. Its eyes begin to glow a yellow as it roared back to life. Your reach is just like, oh, wait. I don't want to do this right now, so she quickly rushes and swims back up into the air, breaking the surface, as then the giant shark would come on out, seemingly breaking through as the ice around them just turns into pure water. As then it begins to swim and chase down Yorichi as she runs through the water. She's just like, well, this is not going how I planned. She would run towards a mountain where she sees clouds and where it seems like the river travels up, but it's really small, and this shark is kind of big, so she thinks she'll be fine. So she'll jump. She uses her Thunder Sulong form, if you will, where lightning covers her whole body, similar to how it would be here, but think of her ears more like rabbit ears than cat ears. That's the main difference I'd have to ask. But no, she would jump on forward, travel up. As she scouts, she sees nothing. She don't see the shark. However, there is something that does disturb her. As the water frozen upstream of the mountain begins to thaw out, and a yellow glow starts to emanate from the water just a few feet away from her. She had no idea what it is. But then all of a sudden, a water shark explodes from it. Literally the water shark bomb jutsu coming at her. She's surprised. She dodges. She's able to launch a few thunderballs at more water sharks to come towards her. She's forced up the mountain even further, which, she begins to realize the shark is leading her up the mountain now. It's chasing her up here for some reason. Why? We'll cut back to Naruto, who's now entered this weird blizzard that is really heavily focused on the top of this one mountain range. Naruto would climb up, and he would see a sword. He already has a sword, so he's just like, I don't need it. But then Kurama tells him that there's something weird about this sword. Something familiar.
Naruto, I think I know that sword. It belonged to one of Mito's friends. He was a Yuki clan member. The sword's name is Yarimaru. Pull it from the ice.
Why?
If memory serves me right, on his sword is his summoning.
What's his summoning?
An ice dragon.
What?
An ice dragon.
You're shitting me.
I am not. Since you have similar chakra to Mito, I believe they would probably, most likely, bond with you. Or at least accept you as its summoner. Also, you're kinda strong. And maybe, just maybe, it wants to have some fun.
Naruto would nod as he would go to the sword. He would grab it, seemingly effortlessly just withdraw it from the scabbard as he examines it. He does see a white, blue, frosted-esque dragon with red eyes all over the hilt of the blade. He examines it. As he looks towards the bottom, there's a chain wrapped around with a moon. I don't know what to call it. It's like a hook. You know what it is? It's Toshiro's sword, so you know what I mean. Yes, it's Toshiro's sword, Yorimaru. Anyway, Naruto would look at it. He would start swinging it around. He's getting used to it. Kurama seemingly surprised at how easy Naruto picks this up. But then, the sword begins to glow. Naruto feels his chakra being sucked out of him at a very rapid rate. More than normal. Despite Naruto's large chakra reserves, this is draining him quite significantly. Naruto falls to one knee as in there is a roar. The blade glows white as then there's an explosion. Naruto is sent back, the sword has gone out of his hands, but when he wakes up, or comes back to, if you will, he didn't really pass out, he's just got knocked on his ass and then got back up. Anyway, Naruto would see that there's this man, white hair, blue eyes, and he is holding the sword. And then right behind him is a giant ice dragon. Kurama would tell Naruto,
That's Toshiro Hitsugaya of the Yuki clan. And behind him is his summoning. I guess he sealed himself within the sword. Naruto, stand up and claim who you are to him.
Naruto would stand. He would look at Toshiro. He would pull out his cane sword. As then, it glows red. It turns into an actual sword. Kurama's just like,
Naruto.
As Naruto takes a fighting stance. As then he's saying, let's go. Toshiro would smirk. As the dragon then, to the surprise of both of them, would fly upwards. And then slam itself into him. Changing him. Causing ice to form around his body. He gets ice dragonic claws, wings, a tail even. His face is covered with a dragon mask with glowing red eyes. Yeah, kind of evolving with a fusion. So, dragon ice armor, where the dragon has merged its chakra into Toshiro temporarily. Naruto's just like, oh fuck. Let's go! As the two rush, they clash. Toshiro is clearly whooping Naruto's ass. Just tragically and horrifically. He sends Naruto down into the mountain. As he looks over, he senses something in the distance. Toshiro realizes that, shit. She's gonna be coming soon. Naruto saying, who? As then Yoriichi would quickly run up behind Naruto, seeing him, and go like, oh, hey. As then she would grab Naruto. Naruto's thinking, oh, hugs, yes. As then she throws him towards a water shark that's coming towards her. Naruto's just like, the fuck? As he grabs his sword, he cries out, sing, Benihime, as he crashes down his blade into the shark, as red chakra spews out. Toshiro senses this, feels this, and he's just like, huh. So, Mito, you had some ancestors. Looks like one of them actually survived. Toshiro, He would then examine his hands, as then he realizes, yes, the chakra that he stole from the boy is Uzumaki chakra. Hmm. No wonder he can have. No wonder his power is this great. As he then rushes towards the shark, kicking it in the face. Yoriichi and Naruto are looking at him like, the fuck? As Naruto could see the sword in the scabbard, Naruto would quickly body flicker to the top of the head of the shark, grabbing onto the scabbard and the hilt. Toshiro would yell at him to say, don't you do it! Naruto be like, huh, well, I'ma do it. As Naruto would proceed to try and draw out the blade, but there is more resistance that there was with Toshiro, due to Naruto being a man, and yeah, she's kind of rejecting it, but the sword is still hungry, so it's still siphoning Naruto's chakra. Naruto feels this as Kurama quickly pumps his chakra into Naruto to help make sure he doesn't die from chakra exhaustion, but doing this seemingly causes the same event, where there is an explosion, Naruto is sent back, but rather than ice, there is water. But, the shark has Naruto and it's on the top of its head. The woman gently places her hand on Naruto's head, thanking him for freeing her. Then she proceeds to kick him off of her sword. As she's saying she would have preferred a woman did it. As then she looks to Toshiro. The two look at each other. As they smile. Tear Hannibal would raise up her sword. As then she says, devour, Dibiron, as the shark summoning turns into pure water chakra, engulfing her, crushing her, turning into pure yellow light, as then she jumps out in a new shark bikini, if you will. She does have gills now under her ribs, which Naruto thought was weird and cool at the same time. She does have a shark fin on her back. Her hair is still blonde, but she does have shark teeth now. On her arm, she does have her sword, but it's now much larger. A hollowed out version of the executioner blade, if you will. However, as she pulls back her sword, water quickly swirls around it, engulfing the blade, condensing down, turning it into an actual water blade. As then she's saying, Cascada! As then she swings down a giant... let me try this one more time. A giant water tidal wave slash, condensed down, pressurized into a very thin line, would just spew out, coming at high speeds. Toshiro dodges. Naruto and Yoriichi just manage to avoid, just barely. But this pressurized cut would actually cut through the mountain. The two are shooketh. As then Hannibal and Toshiro would begin to clash, both of them colliding, ice versus water, as Naruto's just like, hey, Kurama, what do I do?
Just watch. Naruto, study the swordsmanship.
As Naruto, he grabs his sword Benihime, as then he slowly starts to replicate the sword movements of both people, quickly memorizing it actually. Popping my knuckles. Okay, hold up. There we go. Much better. Anyway, back to the what if, as Yoriichi looks at Naruto thinking, the fuck is he doing? Naruto, he then shuts his eyes, as he then enters the mindscape. He points out his sword, and it goes towards the seal, as two chakra signatures are pulled out of the blade, pulled from the cage, and they materialize. Kurama asks Naruto,
what is he doing?
Naruto saying it's, something that he wants to do now. It's something that he kinda needs to.
I thought you said you wanted to wait for the...
I know what I said. Anyway, Minato and Kushina, they would appear in front of Naruto. They'd be surprised. In the mindscape, they'd have a heartwarming conversation about everything. Naruto would even say about his, you know, kinda accidentally getting married into a clan marriage without really knowing it, but hey, at least they'll bring peace between the rain and the leaf, or strengthen their village's bond. Minato would nod at his son, approving. Kushina's just like, fine. She not too thrilled, but she accepts. She approves, reluctantly. Anyway, the two would actually partake Naruto some wisdom about marriage and trying to make sure, just agree with your wife. Happy wife equals happy life, is what Kushina says. Minato's sweat drops as he's just like, yeah, Naruto, in a sense, you could be physically more powerful, but the strength would always lie with the woman. As Kushina has an evil smile, but Naruto's just like, I think I know what you mean. Anyway, I'm gonna need to rip off that seal from Kurama. No. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to agree with your father on this one. Hear me out now. As Naruto would explain his red chakra, the Mito seal, as he even thinks that opening the seal is the first step to helping Kurama get his freedom, and Naruto actually not needing Kurama sealed within him. Then thinking that could kill you. Well, I have red chakra. Chances are I'll be fine. Even Kurama thinks I'll be good. Kurama just shrugs as he's saying,
The boy's strong.
The two are hesitant, but they would nod because they can't really stop him. Once their chakra fades, the seal will weaken anyway. So, might as well, at least it's telling them and asking them for their approval. Wanting them to be important in his life. As then, the seal is broken. Kurama floods Naruto with chakra as Naruto enters the KCM. Yeah, I'm giving him way earlier, but hear me out here. This is why. As Naruto would then jump up into the air, throwing his blade in. As now there's a three-way clash. It's Toshiro and Hannibal look at Naruto as they smile, and they sing, "So you figured it out." Naruto nods, as then the three-way battle continues, where it's mostly 2v1. Naruto has actually learned how to flow through with the shark fighting style of Hannibal and Toshiro's ice dragon fighting style. Two different sword techniques that he has quickly enveloped. Now, he has developed the water jutsus of Water Shark Bomb Jutsu, Water Shark Bullet, Water Shark Missile. One of his favorite ones is La Gota, which is a high pressurized water bullet that comes from his sword from a sword's thrust. Now, Cascada he can't fully do due to his swords not being hollowed out to gather that much water pressure, but he could still do the jutsu, just not to the same effect. Am I kinda knocking off water breathing? No, because Bleach came first. So, the Espada came before the Demon, the Upper Moon 12, and the Gote 13 came before the, Pillars, so who's ripping off who? And breathing techniques to fight creatures that die in the sun? That is a JoJo reference. That is why Demon Slayer was so beloved, because it mixed elements from other beloved animes before they fucked up. And then Demon Slayer still fucked up their ending. Anyway, I might get some pushback on that remark, but yeah, I didn't like the ending of Demon Slayer. I don't care. Anyway. Pause. Anyway, back to the what if Naruto, he gets pretty decent throughout this fight. You see, Yoruichi kind of realized, she just stood there and watched, but the fight only lasted roughly 5 minutes. She was just in awe on how fast Naruto was able to progress in this KCM. Due to him using his chakra arms to help maintain, it also helped him spam some other jutsus. And, well, it worked really well. Towards the end of the fight, both Toshiro and Hannibal would point their hands towards Naruto, giving him back the chakra that they stole, thus kind of destroying themselves. But, you know, he tells him, fret not. If he travels further, there he could find the two scrolls of the shark contract and then the ice dragon contract. They look at Yoroichi as then they say she's welcome to sign it too, since Hannibal actually said she was hoping that Yoroichi would draw the sword out of her. So, hey, at least you could still sign the shark one if you want. She declines. Naruto signs both. The two kind of go off together after this as they talk to one another. Naruto showing off his KCM to Yoroichi first before anyone. She would ask, "The fuck is that?" She would then learn Naruto, Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Interesting. What else? Well, I kinda what? Naruto just he feels kind of weird to say this, but he kind of admits that in order to gain this power, he broke the seal, so Kurama's kind of free. Her eyes widen. So you mean the demon fox is no longer, caged? And I mean, yes, but no, but yes. Anyway, Naruto, Yoriichi, the two kind of look at each other weirdly for a second, as Naruto just asks her very nicely, "Promise not to tell?" She grins as she then jumps on Naruto. She said you would have to, make it worth my while to keep this shut. Naruto, he's just saying, I mean, we can't do that. I mean, waiting till marriage is probably the best option. As she's saying, there are things he could do with his mouth. As she pats him on the chest, pinches his cheek, and licks his ear. Naruto, he's just like, I guess I'm gonna learn how to use some new tongue jutsu. As we scene change actually. We go to the Leaf Village. Hiruzen and Hanzo have kind of finalized it where if Naruto passes the Chunin exams, then they get married when they're 16. But if, he fails, then the marriage is pushed off until he's 18. Of course, they can't deny the marriage, but they were just trying to see, like, hey, how long can we, evade it? Of course, there is one, contingency that the Rain have, and that is if Naruto were to choose to marry her earlier than that. Which, there are some conditions that, if Naruto and Yoroichi were to fuck, if you will, before they were married, not only is the marriage, initiated at that act, however, there is another thing that happens if that were to be the case. Depending on which party was the, enacting one, the one who would, I wouldn't say forced it, but, had the heavy hand of causing the events to partake, it would be that person's responsibility to move into the other person's village, as since they are eager, to live with said person, they will live with that person's village, which Yoruichi does know about, but Naruto doesn't know. But the only reason Yoruichi knows is because Hanzo told her what their plans are. So, yeah. We'd also have Hinata trying to get her father to say, hey, 86 the marriage. No, I don't like the kid. 86 the marriage, Dad. No, I don't want you to be near that demon fox. Dad, 86 the marriage. Or I'm running away. You won't run away. Bitch, you wanna fucking bet? Anyway, that little altercation happens. Hanabi kind of feels weird seeing her sister defend someone who's kind of engaged. But, hey, fight for your man if you love a sister. Anyway, we would have Sasuke kind of feeling like shit because he proceeded to get his shit slapped. So there would be one person who came to him who, keep in mind, this person is offering Sasuke some power. Itachi doesn't know this. Orochimaru doesn't know this. Sasuke definitely doesn't know who this guy is. Kakashi, he doesn't know, like, he knows him, but he doesn't know that he's alive. So, yes, Obito offers to train Sasuke. He even tells Sasuke something important. He has a gift for Sasuke. Something that would help him obtain power if he so chooses. So he does. So, we'll cut to Sasuke's perspective real quick. During this month of training, or his training, when Obito would take him, he would put a limited Tsukuyomi project for Sasuke, where he was able to kill Itachi. But then Obito told him the truth of what happened to Itachi and why he had to kill them. Sasuke did not know that. See, he all thought that in the span of 2 minutes, Sasuke had lived 4 years. He had trained for 3 years, killed Itachi after hunting him down in 6, and then the remaining 6 months he had spent, crying over his brother and wishing that he could have revenge for him. So Sasuke, when the jutsu is over, it's because he realizes that this is some bullshit. This is the worst possible thing, and he rejects it. So, his Sharingan would flare up from the 2 Tomo to the 3 Tomo into a Mangekyo, breaking him out of the limited Tsukuyomi. As he shakes his head, he's just going like, where's Itachi? As there are blood coming out of his eyes. He looks in the mirror as he's just saying, my eyes, they're the same as as he then falls asleep. As Obito would inject him with a sedative. He would wake up a few hours later, blindfolded. Well, Obito had seemingly done something to Sasuke. Sasuke had now awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, but he knew that overuse would blind the boy. And due to some tests, he found out, while he wasn't positive with Sasuke's dad, Sasuke is, and Sasuke's positive with Obito. Oh, well, this boy just gave Obito some power. And power for power, if you will, as, now Sasuke would ask what happened, as Obito would still have Sasuke drugged up so where he can't move, and his chakra is inaccessible right now. But he tells him, I transplanted your father's eyes inside of you. Why? What did you do? How dare you? Shut up. Itachi had taken their eyes before they left. Your father had awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan. He was going to enslave the Nine Tails, remember? Yeah.
Yeah, but why'd you give me his eyes? The curse of the Mangyukyo Sharingan, if you will. Overuse would cause one to go blind. Sasuke looks at him, saying, "So what are you gonna do with my eyes?" "Well, I'm gonna give him to Itachi." He's lying. "Why?" "Well, you know what Itachi had went through. You know Itachi's overused his Sharingan eyes as well." Sasuke then feels sad as he's saying, "Fine, but give me your word that you're gonna give him to him." "Of course, Sasuke. As an Uchiha to another. After all, he doesn't know that I'm doing this for the benefit of the Uchiha clan, strengthening his little brother, and by extension himself." "Who are you?" "I am Madara Uchiha." Sasuke would, he's just like, "I don't believe you." He would open his eyes if he could, but no. Madara would just tell him to rest, as White Zetsu would then inject Sasuke with this weird white serum that goes into his body, which caused Sasuke to, twitch and convulse a little bit, but, he's stabilized. He healed a lot faster now. As, yes, it's Senju DNA in some White Zetsu fluid bonding into his body, only because they're trying to get him to heal faster. He doesn't get what style, he's not getting Renegon. It's just, the thing is, they can now track Sasuke whenever, since the Zetsu spores are now inside of Sasuke's bloodstream. It's that simple, my guy. So no, Sasuke would come back to the Chunin exams with the Eternal Mangyukyo Sharingan. And for Fukaku, I'm just going to give him the Tsukuyomi, similar to Itachi. But rather, he never had black flames. But what would he have instead? Well, I'm going with Shin's Dojutsu from Boruto. It's weird, like, Sasuke would have markings on his palms. Everyone would be like, "What's up with the markings? Cool sword, though." So you're trying to be like Naruto. "Don't mention that bastard to me." No. Anyway, continuing on with the what if, as Hiruzen would sense something different within Sasuke. Kakashi would notice that Sasuke's a bit more darker now too. Colder. Strange. There would be just one instant where, she thought she was seeing things, so she brushed it off. But when she told Kakashi, Kakashi would, shake her and make sure that she was not lying. But yeah, Sasuke had this weird pattern in his eyes. Consider his 6-star one still normal, but then inside of him, you would have them slightly twisted, as I'm gonna pause it. Hold on. Okay, so to give you a better idea, I guess, so you would see Sasuke's dark dial, put Fukaku's eye, and in the 3 spaces you would have the 3 dots. Simple, easy, effective. So within the 6th dial star of Sasuke's eye, you would have Fukaku's eye. So yeah, ta-da! Sasuke's new Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, because I want to. I mean, Naruto already got KCM. Sasuke's gonna get molested by a pedophile snake soon, so it makes sense. Obito would have Zetsu implant Sasuke's eyes within himself, which, Yes, this does give Obito access to Amaterasu Kagetsuchi, a perfect Susanoo, and of course, he keeps Kamui. But his Kamui now looks like a six-sided star dial of, you know, Naruto. Not Naruto, Sasuke's. Just imagine the Kamui dial. Actually, I'm pretty sure that exists. Yeah. Boom. Obito's new Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan would look like this. Due to him implanting Sasuke's eyes, Sasuke now has Fukaku's eyes. And well, that lone Obito eye he has, he keeps for right now. As Zetsu would keep it safe for him. We would now cut to Naruto and Yoruichi. The two, they lie in a spring next to each other. Naruto was kind of up for it, but he didn't realize how bold Yoruichi was when she offered, for Naruto to wash her back and she could wash his back. She decided to use her body more as a loofah, so she would have the soap in between her breasts and pretty much use that to rub Naruto, scrub him clean. Naruto would try his best to keep his excitement under control, but ultimately fails. Yoruichi would pleasure him, and then Naruto would have to return the favor, of course. It is kind of like at that antsy, like, I must wait the shackles of damn you abstinence, as Naruto's just like, damn it, we're doing so many other things though. Is it even called? At this point, I'm just like, why not? Yoruichi's just like, yes, go ahead. Anyway, Naruto, Yoruichi, the two would kind of know that this is kind of Yoruichi pushing, so she's gonna stop for a little bit with the whole teasing of Naruto. Just kind of let him stew in his own thoughts. But it would cut back to the Leaf Village with Naruto, Yoruichi returning. Hinata has made contact with somebody who had offered her power. She accepted. It hurt like hell when he bit down on her, but if it is power enough to defeat this Yoruichi so long, then so be it. As I think I have the photo somewhere right here to help hint at what's going to be happening in the next part. Hinata is going dark side. There's more to it, as there's a pink-haired bitch who also decided to, follow Hinata in her idiotic pursuit of power in order to prove to Sasuke that she's worthy of her love. Anyway, I know I'm not at 45 minutes, but I want to end it here. And I know it's fucked up, but only because there's some shit I gotta do, which is called laundry. So I'm just gonna stop it rather than pause it because it'll take me a minute. So this will upload. Have a good one.